Thursday night football tonight in Baltimore, M&T Bank Stadium. The Browns and the Ravens, a divisional game, Mary Kay. And this Ravens defense, second in yards per game, second in rushing yards per game, seventh in passing yards per game. They're as good as they've been in a while.
You know what? That Ravens defense always seems to be so good. But you know what? A lot of times the Browns rise to the occasion. Let's see if Cody Kessler can do that. Let's see if he can try to hit the long ball a little bit. That's what they really need him to do. Corey Coleman had 2 touchdown catches in the first meeting. You know, can he rise to the occasion again? They're going to need to make some big plays to beat this defense.
Yeah, that's, of course, the good news for the Browns. They jumped out to a 20-0 lead in that first meeting. Of course, they gave it up. One piece of bad news for the Browns, they've been struggling to sustain drives. They especially did it against Dallas. Baltimore's third in 3-and-out drives in the league. So somehow the Browns have to figure out a way to sustain drives.
Well, you know what? We haven't seen too much of Isaiah Crowell and Duke Johnson. They need to dust those guys off and try to commit to the run. They need to try to stick with it as best they can, and that requires not falling behind in the game and having to abandon the run altogether.
Now, the other side of the ball for the Ravens, we know about Steve Smith. He missed a couple games. He was out on the field against Pittsburgh on Sunday, but Mike Wallace is leading this team in receiving yards, and he had a 95-yard touchdown catch from Joe Flacco on Sunday.
Well, you know what? And the Browns are still struggling. Jamar Taylor probably won't even play this game because of a groin. Joe Hayden, has given up some things. There's been miscommunication. We saw how wide open those Cowboys receivers were. So when you get Steve Smith and Mike Wallace rolling, it could be a long day.
And say what you want about Joe Flacco. We know he can deliver the football down the field. He can stand in the pocket and take hits. And it just seems no matter how he plays against the Browns, when that fourth quarter rolls around, Joe Flacco is usually very good.
Yeah, you know what? He's 14-2 against the Browns. However, this year he's thrown only 6 touchdown passes, which is only one more than Cody Kessler, who's struggling in that department. And he's got a 76 rating. So he's not having the regular Joe Flacco kind of season, but he always seems to bring it big against the Browns.
Ravens have turned their season around. They had a 4-game losing streak after that win last week against Pittsburgh, though. They are first place in the AFC North. Just 4-4, but first place is still first place. Game kicks off after 8 o'clock tonight at M&T Bank Stadium.